At this moment, I want to introduce Yumna Mmanga, who is a young disability activist from Tanzania with experience of participatory, who will share some of her experience with us. Yumna, have 5 to 8 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, and I hope you're all doing well. My name is Yumna Omar Mmanga, all the way from the beautiful islands of Zanzibar, Tanzania. And for the sake of time, let's dive to the topic. I'll be discussing my experiences, my journey in participatory grant making for people with disability. First of all, we have to understand what is participatory grant making. The participatory grant making is a funding approach where people affected by the issue helps decide where and how funds are distributed. So here we are speaking of people with disability. Then it's a funding approach where people with disability decide where and how the funds are distributed. It ensures inclusion, representation, and funding that truly meets community needs. My role in PGM, I had a chance to participate as a grantee, as a selection team, as well as grant design team, different participatory grant making. So as a grant design team member, I had an opportunity to structure grant criteria and priorities where we sat down and decided. It was specifically for women with disability. So we had time to decide, what do women with disability, who can ask for this fund? And what are our priority areas as women with disability? Priorities in terms of challenges. What do we want this fund to go and tackle? But also, my role was to ensure that the voices of women with disability were reflected, and advocating for accessibility and fair selection processes. That with all that criteria and the selection has to be accessible, and selection where we had an opportunity to put different modes of sending proposals, as in written form, in audio form, in video form, to allow people, different disabilities, to be able to send their proposals. And even if you are not capable of writing a proposal, then it will allow you to speak what you want to solve in the society as a woman with disability. Yes, next. As a grant selection committee member, my role was reviewing application, ensuring an inclusive approach. As a woman with disability, I had a chance to review these applications based on what we had designed. Do they fit the criteria, the purpose of the fund? But also ensuring grants reached impactful projects led by and for women with disability. Which is it going to be very impactful? Is it truly, this organization, is it truly for women with disability? Is it specifically for women or for mothers of children with disability? Is it just it's a combination of a group of people with disability, but very few women in there? So I had that opportunity also. And as a grantee, I had a chance to get a grant as a young person with disability, and it gave me an experience, first-hand experience on how participatory funding supports growth and empowerment. It empowered me, like I can decide, I can do it. Gave me a platform that there are people out there who believe in my abilities, who believe that Yumna can bring out changes in their society. So they believed in me, trust in my abilities, and gave me that opportunity and delivered. And the project was very successful here in Zanzibar, but also used the funding to advance inclusion and advocacy. We used those funds to engage more young people in our country in the disability movement, more young people with disability, and with others who do not have disability. We had a chance to raise awareness more. Our project was digital advocacy. We use digital devices, encourages young people to use digital platforms in sending information, raising awareness, and so forth and so on. So it also gave me an opportunity for inclusion and advocacy. Yes. So why is it important? Why participatory grant making is important? It gives those directly impacted by the funding a voice in decision making. It gives us, as people with disability, a voice for decision making. Like, whom do we want to fund? How do we want the fund to be used? And how are we going to select who to get the fund? Is it people with disability themselves? Is it parents of people with disability? Is it young people? Is it women with disability? It's important because it goes intersectionally with around the disability agenda. But also it is important because it strengthens leadership and decision-making capacities within the community. I am the best example of it, that it has given me experiences and more knowledge on many things, participating in all these areas, but also leads to more effective grant distribution by aligning with actual community needs. You see, we have been hearing since this webinar started that by giving us opportunity, by participatory grant making, it allows us as people with disability to tackle our challenges. We are the ones who know to what extent, what's best, what to do, what is it troubling us right now. And for us, like here, like for example, in Africa, we want ADP to be ratified. If it is ratified, countries can align their laws according to the ADP. So we want the fund to go and find these organizations that want to bring awareness and do so that ADP is ratified within their countries. But also it reduces the risk of funding misallocation by engaging those with life experiences. Yes, nothing about us without us. It is us who know how the shoes pinch, to what extent it pinch. So if you give us the opportunity to decide where to who to give the fund, where to give the fund, now it will allow us to engage to reduce the risk of fund misallocation. Yes. But also it amplifies voices of marginalized groups often excluded from traditional funding processes. As I said earlier, we use different methods. The traditional funding methods, they only use proposals. We know that many people with disability, they lack formal education. We don't know how to write huge proposals. And if you ask someone, they also need a lot of money for them to write a huge proposal for you. So by introducing different methods, it allows even those marginalized to be able to ask for that fund and to implement it effectively, but also supports grassroots-led solutions that may be overlooked by traditional top-down approaches. We had that lady from Malawi that they were not registered, and it was hard for them to get funds simply because they were not registered. They are marginalized. But with this type of funding, we can look to those people who are living in rural areas. We can look disability and with its different aspects intersectionally, leading to support those grassroots solutions that are overlooked by traditional top-down approaches, but also encourages new ideas and alternative approaches to problem solving. It also shifts power from funders to recipients, ensuring a fair and more democratic grant making. It shifts powers from the funders to us, people who are affected, directly affected, to ensure a fair and more democratic, because we know our fellow OPDs. For example, me in Tanzania, I do know the other OPDs working here in Tanzania, which works the best, which deserves this, how are they working, the systems, the capabilities. So by giving us these opportunities, it's allow us as people with disability ourselves to decide on things that matters the most to us, and nothing about us without us, as I said before. Yes, proceed.
Thank you.
I just want to say that participatory grant making is not just about funding. It's about shifting powers to those who understand the challenges best. And let's continue ensuring people with disability have a seat at the decision-making table. Thank you.